Hello. Hi, everybody. This is telling me I'm live, but I can't see myself, so I'm not sure I believe it. But hey, so yeah, it's been a while since I came on live in the group, so I wanted to do that today. Wanted to come and talk a little bit about writing timely opinion pieces. Something you may not know is that writing opinion pieces is one of the easiest and best ways to get published. Not to say that getting published is ever super easy, but timely opinion pieces can be one of the best ways to break through. Now, if you checked your email yesterday, I also sent something out talking about how personal essays are another great way to break in. So I am saying that both of those are a good way to break in. But to talk today a little bit about opinion pieces, which is what I've written the most of, I just wanted to give you a little insight into that world. And the cool thing about having an opinion about something, even if it's not something that's in the news right now, is that you can usually find something to hook it to at some point. And so maybe you have a strong opinion on a particular topic, say, I don't know, immigration or something like that. Maybe there's something you have to say about, border security and immigration, but like that hasn't really been in the news lately. Something to think about is that that it eventually will be in the news. So it's not a bad idea to be thinking about what you might want to write when it does come up, because you can then hook it to the news that is there. And when the news does strike, editors will be looking for pieces that are related because they want things that are trending. They want voices that are talking about what people are interested in and what's going on. So it's something to keep in mind. But I also recommend like kind of keeping a running list of what ideas pop into your head, what you might want to write about at some point. So sometimes I'll see something or I'll think, man, it'd be cool to write about that, but it just doesn't make sense in terms of timing or in terms of just like what's going on in the world. And so I highly recommend keeping some kind of notepad that you can refer back to. One thing that I have used in the past is actually I use a Trello board. So I'm not great at staying organized, but when I am on track, I will have a Trello board, and the board will just be like freelance ideas. And I can go back there and like those ideas are always there, because one thing I will say about writing ideas is that they will go away. So you really need to write them down. You may think you're going to remember them, but you're not. So keep a notepad by your bed, a running notes pad in your phone of some kind, Trello board like me. And then you will always know that that idea is going to be there and you're not going to forget about it, because honestly, some of the best ideas could slip away. And so I highly recommend keeping something like that available. And then, a good way to make sure you're not missing that opportunity to write about a topic that you care about or that may be related to a personal story that you have, is to just make sure you're checking in with the news. I mean, not that we want to be obsessing about politics or the news, but check in, see what's trending, see what's happening. Make sure that you are aware of what's going on around you. I will say also, it's tough getting this stuff in with the trending news and the timely opinion pieces, because you do have to do quick turnarounds. But that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is, if you're thinking about this stuff regularly, you may already have these ideas sort of forming in your head. And like the points you might want to make are already sort of there and they've been marinating in your mind, and it's not that hard to get them down on paper. So those are just a few thoughts that were sort of roaming around in my head that I wanted to share. And newspapers are a great place to be finding those opportunities, the op-ed sections of newspapers. Now, I do go into a lot more detail about that stuff in the pitching and publishing course, which starts next week, but I will be offering it again probably late in the summer. If anyone is interested, I will obviously send you info. But secondly, I wanted to mention, so no matter how many op-eds or pieces I have written, I cannot start with just a blank piece of paper. There's just something so intimidating about it. I'm sure you've all been there, that blank piece of paper moment. So I use, and I'm going to put this in the comments as soon as I am done with this video, and since no one's watching live right now, it's fine. But there's a little structure from the op-ed project. And if you don't know the op-ed project, check out their website and look around. They've got a lot of great tools and ideas and resources for op-ed type of writing. But they have this basic, it's the most simple op-ed structure. And there's something about having just that structure, the bare bones of what it should be, the pieces laid out before me when I start writing, that gives me the foundation and the motivation I need to actually get it done. So if you're interested in doing any of this opinion writing, which a lot of times opinion writing is, can be like an essay, but it's a good type of writing to practice because it's always needed. Um, all publications are looking for that kind of essay, so definitely take a look at this link, look at the bare bone structure, and get a feel for what it might be like to write about something that you care about or have an opinion about, because those are some of the things that are going to give you the best opportunities for getting published, especially if it's something that's very timely or tied to the news. Okay, guys, that's it. That even went longer than I wanted, but I just figured I would offer a little bit of advice on that. If you have any questions about anything I've said, please leave them in the comments. Let me know. I'm here to be a resource. So thanks for being here. Hope you have a good one.